Hello everyone and welcome to On the Hook Crochet, where we find out what's on the hook today. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I want to talk about the unboxing of my Malabrigo KnitCrate box, which comes out quarterly, and also an acquisition and two works in progress. I want to show you how they are going. So first of all, let me show you those real quick because I received some cotton and linen yarn, 47% linen, 53% cotton. So it's a little bit, it's not as soft as other yarns that I've been working with lately, but I bought it because it had linen in it. And I know summer is a linen season. And when you wear linen, you're supposed to remain, stay really nice and cool. So I'm counting on that. But I bought this called Fibra Natura by the Good Earth Adorn. And there's the label that was on it. And I'm sorry, my light, there it is. Cotton linen blend. And I told you what the combination was. But I got this off, I got this from Love's Knitting. And it was on sale, and I thought, well, I'm going to buy some of that. So I bought 4 hanks, and each hank has 204 yards. So I've got 816 yards of cotton and linen. Well, I've completed my America tank, and I'm going to show you that in another video because it's worth the time that I'm going to need to talk about how I made it, and so you could do the same thing. But I'm using that as a pattern for this particular tank that I'm going to make out of this cotton linen yarn. It's a number 4, so it's a little bit thicker. It's a little bit thicker than the Premier Cotton that I made my America tank out of. So we'll see how that works out. But I wanted to show you what I've done. If you remember my last video, I said to chain up with a one hook size larger than the one you're going to use for your crochet fabric. I'm going to use a J hook to make the crochet fabric, and then I'm going to use a K hook, or actually I did use a K hook to chain up the bottom of the back, which is the first piece that I'm going to work on. Here is the back so far. And I chained up 21 inches so I'd have plenty of ease along the bottom. And then I did 4 rows of single crochet, and then I'm completing it in a double crochet, if you can see that. It's really beautiful. The stitch definition is wonderful with this yarn, but it's a little bit stiff. It's got a little bit of a drape to it. It's a little drapey, but it's pretty rough. It's a rough feel. But I'll be wearing this with probably a nylon or a cotton tank top underneath, so that should save me from just being totally uncomfortable in it. But I thought I would make it because I love the color. The color is called Lettuce, and I haven't started my winter scarves and sweaters, and I have lots of green in that. But this is the only green that I really had a big amount of yarn in. So I wanted to go ahead and try that with my tank top pattern. So I'll let you know how that goes. Second of all, in this particular yarn, I've shown this many times, Cotton on Denim by James Brett, and this is the purple color, very soft, very, very soft compared to what I just showed you. And I'm making this pattern, which is the Just Peachy Tank from Yarnspirations, and this is where I am now, and it's turning out very beautifully. This will run vertically along the center left or right, and it's 38.5 inches long, so that'll take it right around there back to my waist in the back, and it will be 10 inches wide and 38.5 inches long, and then I'll make another one just like this, and then I will seam them up. And one of my subscribers said that she had actually made this pattern, but she didn't really say a whole lot about it. So if it's very difficult to make look good, that's the only thing I can imagine it would be difficult, because the stitching is very, very easy. And it might look complicated to a non-crocheter or even to a beginning crocheter, but it's really not. These are just skip stitches in here, and that makes it look lacy. So it shouldn't be hard to complete. In fact, it can't be, because I've already done all the stitches it called for. That's one pattern's worth. So I'll just repeat that maybe a couple more times, and I will have that one piece done, and then I'll do the other piece just like it. So I wanted to show you those two things, and I am using a K hook on that project. So it's going to be going pretty fast. Now, for the Malabrigo unboxing, this is a KnitCrate, just like what everybody talks about, the monthly, but this is a quarterly subscription from KnitCrate, and it is Malabrigo yarn, which is a yarn, it's a brand of a yarn from South America. And I thought I would give it a whirl, and I've gotten my first Malabrigo box, and I wanted to show you what was in it. First of all, there were a couple of little silly things in here, but they were cute. There's a little notepad that's in the shape of an apple, and I've got it pinned together here so it will open up like an apple. But when you set it on your desk, it looks like an apple. Oh, that light is just blowing me out. It sits up like an apple, and you can take the pieces off and write little notes on them. There's one of them there. It's kind of cute. You can write a note on that. So I'll put that on my desk and look at it every now and then. And then also there was a stitch marker which I dropped and rolled under my desk, and it's under the part of my desk that I can't move, so I'll have to get a ruler after that, and I wasn't going to do that just a minute ago, so I don't know what it looks like. But then we got this, which is a little stitch marker holder, and you flip the top down or the side down, and then you press this button and it turns the little inside pieces of the orange, in this case, around so that you have stitch markers in here. You might not want those, so you do press it again, and you can look in the next stitch marker hole, and of course you can see through the top, so you know where your stitch markers are that you're looking for. I, on the other hand, don't have any stitch markers, and now that that one rolled under the desk, I imagine it was a stitch marker. That would be my first guess. I don't know that for a fact, but it is not to be found right now. So the only stitch markers that I have are these, and I think I might have shown you these at one point. These are the cheap little Clover stitch markers. They're made out of kind of a soft, rubbery material, and you just scoop up the stitch and put them in there, and then you can pull them back out. They don't lock or anything. And I've been using those for years, and I don't know why I've never bought a real stitch marker, but I just haven't ever done it. So anyway, enough about that. This is the yarn that came in the box. It's quite beautiful. It's a number 4, I think. It is not labeled, so I don't know what number it is, and that to me is kind of important, but they don't say on here how big the yarn is. But it is called Dos Tierras. That means 2 lands, and these skeins are a combination of wool from Uruguay and alpaca from Peru. So they wind those together, and they've called this line of wool Dos Tierras, which means 2 lands, Uruguay and Peru on each one. And this one is in a kind of a teal green, really beautiful color. And this is a light, looks like even a gray. It's gray. So gray and teal, very beautiful together. And this subscription box, they say that you always get 2 skeins of yarn, 2 hanks of yarn, which is, I'm probably right. And you always get those 2. Always get those 2. You don't just get 1, which I think is coming in the KnitCrate as soon as it gets to my house. There's 1 hank of yarn in it. So this is the pattern book that comes with it, that came with it this month. This is May of 2019, and the next one comes out in the 1st of September. But there's a picture of the actual yarn that they send, and then they give you a couple of patterns, just like they do in their other KnitCrate. This one is the knit pattern. It is a scarf, and this one is the Crochet Pattern, and it is a cowl. And they both use both of the colors of the yarn, and they look very beautiful. The cowl is an intermediate pattern called Wavelength. There's an up-close picture of it. It's done in a lace. I've read the instructions, so it's done in a lace pattern with some color change there, and then there's an edging on it that's just one stitch edging. So it doesn't look very difficult to make, but it says intermediate skill level. And it uses an H hook, and the length is 29 inches long and 14.5 inches deep. So I guess you fold that over and wear it around your neck. The 29 inches around your neck is okay. You know, it's not real tight, but I'm struggling because I'm not sure if I want to make this particular pattern or if I want to, you know, use one of my other patterns for it. And more than likely that's what I'll do, because I like to use a pattern that I actually know about. However, I did enjoy the scarf pattern that I made the titmouse yarn out of, and I know I've brought that up 100 times and I've worn it a lot on this channel, but I enjoyed a new pattern experience. I enjoyed that. I don't need it on every article that I make, but it is nice once in a while. So I might try this. I might try this. I don't know. I haven't really decided yet. But I wanted to bring you those 3 items today. And in my next video, or several videos, I have some scarves that I have completed. So I want to show you the pattern and the yarn and the blocking and how they turned out so that, you know, if you want to try one, you certainly can do that. Okay, so join me next time to find out what's on the hook.